Hello everyone, and thanks for taking the time today to join our webinar. Today we'll deep dive into how you can implement rich SMS into your holiday season campaigns and get heard at the noisiest time of year. For this deep dive, we have Rachel Hooper-Sand from Message Media and Jean Nuber from Petals, an online florist, who'll be sharing insights on how to optimize your messaging for better results. We'll be taking questions throughout the webinar, which can be posted on the chat bar on the right-hand side of your screen. Your questions will be answered at the end of the webinar. It's now my pleasure to hand over to Rachel.
Great, thanks for that, Jane, and welcome to everyone we've got on the line today. Today, what we're going to be covering off are 5 practical messaging strategies to cut through your customers at what must be one of the busiest and easily one of the noisiest times of the year. For those of us who don't already know us, we're Message Media, and we're a global messaging provider that specialise in providing rich, mobile-first customer experiences using the device that all of us have in our hands more than anything else, our mobile or cell phones. In fact, it's in our hands so much, over 90% of all SMS are read within 90 seconds, and there's even a term that's been coined for our fear of not having it with us, and that's nomophobia. So, how do we use this knowledge to our advantage this December when customers are being bombarded by messages, emails, and marketing on all sides? For us, there's the campaigns and messages that you can be sending out to your customers, staff, and contacts. And as we pass through a range of different styles of messaging, Jane will send through the links to these particular blogs that we've recently published. These are the communication things that you can do, and they're pretty standard styles of things that you can do. But these are just the comms and the strategies that go behind this, and there are deeper strategies that go behind this. And it's thinking really deeply about the customer and what they're going through, and planning your message, your delivery, your timing, and your expectations accordingly are the strategies that will really cut through this holiday season. So, our tip 1, it's not unique, but it's the one we often can forget about. Our tip 1 is simply be personal. The mobile phone number is about as personal as it can get. It's easy enough to close down or ignore an email address, or even just dispose of that catalogue. But changing your personal phone number is not as clear-cut. If you know somebody's phone number, you should make all efforts to know who it's attached to. Knowing your customer's name and utilising that can buy you precious seconds of their attention. And when you're using the right SMS or sending solution and provider, it's really easy to import your data from your customer systems and personalise, whether it's part of the SMS message or a personalised landing page, or arguably even both. Our next tip, it's be known. It's really not that hard with messaging like SMS to make yourself really clearly identifiable. As a sender, you can use things like alphanumeric sender names or even a dedicated number. Or if you're using a rotary number, that is a number that's provided by your SMS provider, make sure your brand is really clear in the first part of the copy in your text message. So how can you use this particular tip this holiday season? If you don't already have a dedicated number, it's incredibly easy to get started. If you don't have time or you don't want to get started with a dedicated number or an alpha tag, just plan your message and your message copy really clearly and include your name really simply and easily in your message, in your message body. And then it's simply being clear and concise. Messaging is always about being clear, but in the context of the mobile phone, it's even more crucial to be really clear and planned about this. I would say that almost everyone we've got on the line today has a smartphone within arm's reach, literally right now. In AU, the smartphone penetration is over 70%, and in the US it's over 80%. And consider your own usage. How many times do you have the screen lock on and you're merely taking a quick glance to see what that latest ding on your phone was about? Those first 6 words on that screen lock count, and they are precious to start driving immediacy before you even unlock the phone screen. This tip is all about grabbing those 2 seconds of inattention before your receiver even realises it's not a personal message to them. And from there, you've hooked their interest. Now, by using tips 1, 2, and 3, you've managed to capture the attention and entice customers to open up your message. Now, it's about making sure that they convert. What do you need them to do, or what do you want them to do? And that's the important part next. The first thing is, think about the device that they've just received your message on and what's going to make them act immediately. Our tip, get them to click a link, reply in line to your text message, or get them to call you, and very much in that order. Again, think about your own customer experience. An easy click and convert can be done wherever you are, on the train, in a coffee queue, or even under the desk when you're sitting in a meeting, you're supposed to be focusing on something else. Calling is always going to be the least convenient. You need to plan to be free and often find somewhere private to actually have that conversation. And sometimes you're actually needing to access other information like a calendar or a credit card. It's always about thinking about what you want that customer to do and what's going to be the easiest thing for them to do that with the least amount of friction. Easy solutions like reply by SMS and triggering an automated journey can also be a really simple and yet elegant solution that doesn't take much time to set up, keeps your customers kept informed and engaged, and it doesn't require a huge amount of people-led intervention for your business. Which brings us into our final and 5th tip, and that is be time conscious. Because at this time of year, the time of day that you send can be taken to your advantage. What we've found from our experience is that planning different call to actions can work really effectively at different times of day. If you're thinking about something that's really quick and digital, send when people are likely to be on their phones and a bit inattentive. Consider that 10 a.m. coffee run or the 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. work wrap up and commute. If you're thinking about getting people to come to store or make a really deliberate effort and something that's going to take a bit of time, send your message early in the day or even the day before. At a time when we're feeling time poor, it helps to plan for that late night shop or those 3 to 5 minutes to make that phone call, again, with that calendar or that something in hand that you need. The key beauty about smartphones is that ability to extend beyond the 160 characters of an SMS and create unique, personalised and rich customer journeys. Earlier this year, we launched Mobile Landing Page, which is a way to extend the SMS to a personalised and trackable mobile page that can give customers a really clear call to action and more information that would be possible in an SMS alone. Better still, because they can be created, sent and tracked easily and directly from our SMS platform, or by you or by us, you can get started straight away and start seeing results. And more than anything, it's really easy to implement as part of a broad communication strategy. So to see this in action and see how this really works, we've got a customer of ours, Petals, who's recently created a mobile landing page campaign for their really key seasonal Christmas campaigns. And we're going to talk to Jean today. Hey, Jean, how are you going?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Delightful to have you. So, Jean, can you tell us a little bit about Petals?
Yeah, Petals Network, we're a network of about 1,500 florists around Australia, New Zealand, and the UK. We're in the sort of the online flower delivery business, and we've been doing it since 1990. So we've been doing it for quite some time now. And so the way the business works is we have several of our own sort of branded flagship websites that we run and manage, and petals.com.au is sort of our main one, and then we have a few in New Zealand and the UK as well. Aside from those flagship sites, we also run about 1,100 other hosted websites on behalf of our member florists as well. So these are, florists who don't have the time or the expertise to run their own sort of e-commerce platforms, and so we do that on their behalf for them. So with those two things, with the hosted websites and our flagship websites, we use that to generate orders, which we then send out and route to our member florists for local fulfillment. So every order that you place with us will be sort of hand arranged, hand delivered by a local florist, and that's pretty much the business model there.
Fantastic. So being an online business, I imagine you put a lot of focus on your mobile strategies. Can you tell us a bit about why that is?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this is really much of a secret to anyone, but over the last few years, we've obviously seen a lot of traffic shift from desktop to mobile. That it's good and bad in a sense that we like desktop because people tend to convert. They're sitting down and they've got their wallet there handy and they're ready to purchase. So we generally see higher conversion rates on desktop, but a lot of the traffic now is shifting over to mobile, and it's just because of the rise of the importance of it and the prevalence of mobile devices everywhere. So we're seeing a lot of browsing on mobile, and we need to be there. It's even though it doesn't convert as high as desktop, it's a place where we have to be, and we've seen that shift over the last few years, and it's now more important than ever to be present on mobile in every aspect. So in emails, mobile websites, and now with text messaging, it's just another channel that we can use to get in front of the consumer while they're on their mobile device. And so that's kind of why we saw the importance to sort of build out and focus on our mobile strategy.
Fantastic. So you have been sending SMS and MMS to your customers as part of your recent seasonal marketing efforts and your marketing mix. What success have you been finding with those strategies?
Yeah, so we launched one in May for Mother's Day, and then we launched one recently for Christmas, the Christmas campaign. We have a few more campaigns for Christmas ready, kind of in planning at the moment as well. The difference between the two, so for Mother's Day this year, we only did an SMS and MMS campaigns, whereas for this recent campaign, we actually did both of those, but with a mobile landing page. And I guess the main difference, all things being equal, is we saw a higher level of engagement with the mobile landing pages and lower opt-out. So people sort of getting less annoyed with it, if you will. So in terms of the performance for the one for this Christmas, we saw about 1,000 unique visitors, but 2,000 visits, so an average of two visits per visitor, or I guess user, with some interesting sort of engagement statistics. So we saw 50 users were visiting the site five plus times. 150 people were visiting it between 4 and 17 times. So a lot of engagement there with a select few. And maybe they're planning for the holidays, and they saw the text at a certain time, but they weren't able to actually transact, and so maybe they got back to it later, or they're kind of mulling the idea of purchasing flowers, kind of going back and forth. But that's some good engagement that we like to see. And so we're still early on in our mobile text strategy, and so we're looking forward to testing more and different things, and kind of learning when's a good time to test, and what kind of messages do well, what kind of creative does well, what kind of text in terms of the words that we use, what words do well. Do we use numbers? Do we use dollars? Do we use percentages? That sort of thing. So
fantastic. So you see yourself being comfortable with sending more of these in the future, and do you see it being part of your future seasonal marketing mix?
Yeah, definitely. Our business is, as you guys can imagine, very cyclical, very seasonal. So the three biggest holidays of the year really are Mother's Day, Christmas, and Valentine's Day. And so that's when we would really look to employ text as another strategy for us. We've seen that obviously the conversion during those times of the year is much higher, and so that's where we really want to be able to capitalize and get in front of the consumer with a text message. So yeah, I definitely see it as something that we do every holiday going forward. You know, we tested it for Mother's Day, like I said, and obviously we're doing it again for Christmas, and we've got no plans to stop for Valentine's Day. So yeah, it's definitely something that will continue as part of our marketing mix. And I guess the thing there is, you know, text is, you know, it may not convert as well as other channels, but it's important because we need to be everywhere as much as possible in front of the consumer. So it's a big part of our just kind of strategy to get in front of the consumer in every which way we can, because you know, we don't want to sort of leave an opportunity for an incremental order just, you know, on the table. We need to be out there in front of them. So yeah, getting in front of them via text message is certainly something we want to do going forward.
That's great. Thanks so much for that, Jean. And we are really looking forward to working with you on the next iteration of your seasonal campaigns and some of the testing strategies that we've got in plan for you. So thank you so much. Best of luck for the Christmas season, and we hope it's incredibly successful for you.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. So now that you've seen how it's been able to work in action for one of our customers being Petals, Ronnie is going to give you a demonstration of how easy it's going to be to send a mobile landing page using the strategies that we've been discussing and using the message media platform.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Okay, hi everyone. So first of all, we'll just show you sort of where to find the feature. If you haven't had it activated on your account as yet, it won't appear. So just contact us to get that set up. Once that's been done, you'll see mobile landing pages appear here in the left-hand menu. By clicking this, you'll be taken into the landing page space. First thing you'll see is any landing pages, if anyone else on your account has been sending landing pages, they'll appear here as saved templates. But if you want to create them from scratch, you just scroll through. First thing you'll see here as well is we offer a campaign concierge service, which is a paid service where if you want to send a fairly complex broadcast, we can actually help you with setting that up right the way through from design to broadcast distribution and the analytics as well. So just keep that in mind. To do it yourself, very, very straightforward. We've got 6 templates, as you can see here, ready to go, each with a different example use case, but obviously you don't have to use them for those use cases. It just gives you some inspiration. So the first thing you do is choose the template you want. Now I'm just going to choose Bedford, and then you'll be taken into the editor. Notice here on the right-hand side, straight off the bat, we've got a blank mobile phone preview. This will show you what your landing page will look like in real time as you're building it. And you can see we're being asked here on the left to upload some content. Now, before I do this, I'll just point out, if you want any help in preparing your content, because there are some requirements, on our help site, we do have quite a comprehensive document that tells you how to prepare your content in terms of image size, text character restrictions, barcodes, all of that sort of stuff. So if you're not sure, jump into the help site and have a search, and you'll find that there to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and upload some content. I'm going to start with a brand logo, a nice generic logo there for an example. And I've got the opportunity here to add a URL to that logo. It is quite instinctive for people to tap on things when they see them. So should someone tap on your logo, it's a good chance for them to be directed to your website. And you'll see in the editor, on the preview rather, it's appearing there in the top corner. Next, I'm going to upload a background image. Here's one I prepared earlier. And as that uploads, there we go. You see that appears on the right-hand side as well. So the mobile landing page is now starting to take shape. The next thing we have to do is put our text content in. So here we've got our headline, which appears here on the landing page. Now I'm going to, for the sake of time, I've got one that I've actually pre-populated. So I'm going to just drop that in here. And as you see, the minute I drop it in, it updates in the viewer. And then we add our body content, I beg your pardon. So paste that in there. And you'll see it updates into the viewer as well. The next thing we do is we set the text for our call to action, which is the button here. So as you can see, we're telling people to check our holiday hours before coming to pay us a visit. So I'm just going to grab my call to action text here and make that button say view holiday hours, as it does. I also need to tell the system what to do when people click on that button. Where is it going to take them? So in this field here, you can use a different variety of link styles. You could use a simple website. You can take people to a mail to address if you want to have them contact you. You can even have a tel link, so someone can actually click that button and their phone will straight away generate a phone call. So it's a really great way of just sort of getting people to take the action without having to take too many steps. In this case, I'm just going to link there to my company website. And there we are on the right-hand side now. You see that landing page has really taken shape. We've got our header, our body content, and our call to action just the way we want them. And then if I want to save this as a template, I can actually name this if I want to, which I will do now if I want to use that again at a later date. So once I've created the landing page, I can then go ahead and add that to a message. Now, before I do that, a couple of things I'll call out. You might notice here we've got personalization on a few fields. Personalization means that if you're sending this landing page to contacts that you have saved in your address book, you can actually drop in fields relating to the fields saved in their contacts. So for example, if you want to send this to 10,000 people that you've got all their first names, you could say in the headline, I can say, hi, first name. And in the actual landing page that the people receive, they'll see their own name appear in there. So that becomes a very tailored and personalized experience for each of your customers. And you can carry that through into the body content and also into the button text if you want to. So we've got our landing page set up. I'm going to save and add to my message, and it takes me now to my new message screen. So those of you who've been using the web portal will be familiar with this screen. But what you'll see here is on the right-hand side now, we've got a preview of the mobile landing page as it will appear. So now I just need to write my text message, and I'm going to cheat at that as well. But there we go. Oops, no, that's the wrong box. I beg your pardon. I shall choose a recipient, sorry, first, and now I will drop my content into there. And you'll see on the right, the text message is previewed, so I can see exactly now what the recipient will see when they receive that message. So it comes up just as you see there. They click on the link, they'll be taken to the landing page as we saw it in the preview, and away we go. You could also, if you wanted to, send this, if you have alpha tags set up, you could set this from your own business or company name. You can choose to name this broadcast for future reference, and you can also schedule this message if you wanted to, and you can even make it a recurring message as well. So you can have this, if you're setting an event reminder, for an example, you can have this at preset intervals leading up to the date of your event, as an example. And that is pretty much it. Once you've got all that in, you just hit send, and away it goes, and start watching those clicks come through.
Wonderful. Thanks very much for that, Ronnie. And so that's our explanation of how you can, one, send really valuable and powerful messages this Christmas, as well as making sure that you can actually send them really easily via our portal. So to summarize, there are 5 really easy steps to make sure that you can actually get heard this time of year. Make sure you're being personal in the messages that you send. Be known to the people that you're sending them to, so people are aware and they're prepared to engage with you. Be clear and be concise with the message that you send, particularly when you're thinking about the mobile device. Be outcome driven, and also be really considered about the time of day that you're actually sending your messages. So at this point in time, I'd really like to hand over to questions, if there are any questions that people have around mobile landing pages, or if there are any questions around strategies that you might want to consider.
Hey, Rachel, just real quickly before you get into the questions, I just wanted to give all the audience members a promo code if they're interested in flowers. So I'll send that through the text right now if they want to use it. It's 25% off for the weekend.
Fantastic. Thank you, Jean. I was just saying to you before, I think I need to do that one for my mother-in-law. So thank you for that.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. So look, guys, it doesn't appear that there are going to be any questions that are going to be coming from that. I really hope that this has been a helpful webinar for you, and that your holiday messaging does start cutting through for your customers at this time of year. I will just call you back to the fact that we have published a few blogs and really easy to use templates that Jane has shared through the chat button, but they are also easily found on the messagemedia.com website. So if there is nothing else, I'd just again like to say thank you to Jean from Petals for sharing your experience and also that promo code, and for everyone who's joined us today. Best of luck with your Christmas messaging. I hope everyone has a lovely time of year. And if you'd like to talk about messaging solutions for your business, please do reach out to us here at Message Media. And I hope you all have a great day. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.